Hi, Warren.
Welcome. Hi, John.
Hi, welcome to Palatine, Illinois. Actually, I thought that was Luke Wilson when that came on. You kind of look like Luke Wilson to me a little bit. I don't know if you get that.
Yeah, I've never gotten Luke Wilson before. In my younger years, I used to get Ed Norton, but that's when we're both kind of auditioning for the same sort of thing. But I've never gotten Luke Wilson before. But thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
Maybe it was just me. I wanted to start today by just asking just a general question about how you, first how you kind of came up with the project, then how you found this group, the ones that you followed, and how you chose them. And I'm guessing you followed them for most of the school year, but I'm not sure.
We did. We started. Well, the idea for the whole film really came to me just in the fact that this was something that I participated in when I was in high school. I'm a thespian myself. I actually went to the high school that did the full-length play of Look Homeward Angel. That was my theater teacher from my freshman year in high school to my senior year. And the woman who was kind of the Shirley Sachs, who had the Altar Boys, she taught at the Performing Arts High School that I went to when I was in high school, and she taught me musical theater. So as I mentioned before, this was partly a tribute to the amazing work that the teachers within theater arts do on pretty much a volunteer basis with the whole entire thespian organization outside of the regular duties and teaching during the school hours. To answer your other question about what schools to choose, that was, in order to tell a good story, you kind of have to hedge your bet in a way. And I approached the executive director of the entire Florida State Thespians Festival, and I asked him, could he give me like a top 10 schools right now, currently, not the top 10, from 10 years ago, but like within the last 2-3 years, who's seem to be the top schools that kind of really seem to perform well at the state level and place and do well. And he was really reluctant to kind of give me that information. And I think it made sense because he really didn't want this to be like an avenue for going and highlighting 2 or 3 particular schools who already do very well. And but eventually he kind of gave me a list, and I talked to kind of vetted each of the schools and talked to them about what the experience might be for us and for them, and kind of culled it down to about four schools on that list. And then outside of that, Shirley Sachs, who's the teacher of the Altar Boys, approached me because Stanton was not on that list. And when she approached me and said, I think you ought to come see these guys I have that are going to be putting together this thing called Altar Boys, and I think they'll get it, and I think they'll be good, good follow. So I went over and I kind of watched a very, very quick early rehearsal with them, and she convinced me that they had a lot of discipline and work ethic, and they kind of pulled that. It was kind of a dimension of their competitive nature because they were so academically driven, that they would work and work and work at this number, and they couldn't put one foot in front of the other when I saw them the first time, and I knew that they could bring a lot of levity to the film, and I thought that in the end they would actually tell the best thespian story about, because it's not about results, it's not about winning, it's about the process and the journey and the life skills that you kind of touch on along the way, those skills that you bring with you the rest of your life. So I was really excited to bring the Altar Boys into the fold, who are not at all kind of part of the original dialogue. And then there was another school down in Miami called Coral Reef that we did follow, and they were in an earlier cut of the film, actually kind of 2 rounds of cuts, before eventually we ended up kind of eliminating them entirely from the film because their story was not nearly as effective as the other stories, and kind of took away from the film in a way, because there was just like extra storylines there that we felt like we really didn't need. So we filmed an entire school that we ended up cutting from the film, which was kind of hard to tell the teacher that.
Well, neat. It was, like I said, it was a great film. People here enjoyed it. I remember being in Thespians in high school in Indiana and getting to go as a senior to something like that and staying up all night building the set and all the things you showed in the. So I think that was a really great representation of what a lot of people's experiences are. So thanks again today for spending time with us, Warren.
Absolutely, John. Thank you all so much for coming to see the screening. Greatly appreciate it. You guys have a great afternoon, okay?
Thank you so much.